Guys, just gonna do a quick video about the concept of trauma Olympics and hopefully shed some light and help those of us that are, healing and doing trauma work or whatever. So the term comes from the idea of people that essentially, it's like that's not that bad. This is what happened to me type of stuff. And I think it's really important to talk about because this was just blowed my mind, and to the extent that I understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to try here. But the way it scientifically works in like the amygdala and the back of the brain, which is that like mammalian that primal brain, right? It's up by the stem. All this stuff. That's why I got a big one. But like you got the that's all the instinctual stuff, right? And it doesn't matter what it is. It matters of how it's affecting your central nervous system. Essentially, that's why you have like PTSD and stuff. And some people have it worse, and that's why some vets can come back and they're fine, and some can't. And it's not a measure of the trauma necessarily. It's such. And something that really blew my mind is it's not necessarily like you could be a strong person and endure a lot of stuff, and it could, whether it's a lot of stuff piling up on itself or one just main event and you're never the same again. um that's why they call it doing the work. It's not a certain amount of reps, it's the work. You do the work, and nobody has a higher level of like a badge. That is an ego based thing, and it's not true. It really isn't, like at a scientific level. And I think it's important to talk about the that's the scientific, and then the what I like to think about anyway is like how that manifests in society with like we're more aware of this. I've done a couple videos about it. We're more aware of our psychology now and how that can be detrimental. And it's kind of, I think about like when you talk about abusers, narcissism, for example. It doesn't excuse it, but it explains it, right? That's how trauma work. I think about trauma work, like, and people that talk about this stuff. It's like you're not, if you're excusing it and you're talking about it all the time, what is your intent? And that's a very tricky thing. So that's just something I want to talk about. I don't want to get too much of a tangent, but yeah, trauma Olympics, ego based, and if what I'm reading is correct, I think it is. It's very it's it doesn't matter what it was, My dad punched me 10 times. Well, dad punched me every day 10 times. Like whatever. Sorry, I shouldn't end it with that, but that's how I deal with stuff. All right, bye.